what was it like for you when you were trying to figure out how to do maneuvers and all this, watching your peers? Like, what was that like for you, and how did you improve? I mean, was it just simply watching your peers and just trying to emulate them? Did you just really have to break things down? What was your approach? How did you get good to the point where you were beating them eventually?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I'll go and then I'll jump into my daughter's example real quick after. But we were so gung-ho about surfing and so in love with it that we'll spend hours watching surf videos. I watched Pump by Billabong probably north of 500 times. I still watch it to the day. I have Shakti watch, Aki and things like that. We watch Tom Curran, we watch Black and White, all those videos, like the Hawaii 9.0s, 9.1s, like just what it was hot during that time when I was like learning how to surf, the Wave Warriors, Pods, like Fletchers, Mark Archibald, and Dino, Shane, all these like legends. And it was like, I don't know if it was different then, and I want to say somehow it was different, but the magazines, like, there was something that really captivated you and inspired you back then to surf and to look at those guys, look at the contests, and look at the things that they were doing and the way they were surfing. That was just like, wow. And then you add that time, which was out of the water and our, home and the city, not being able to watch a video and go surfing, but to like wait until maybe next day or the following day, or hear if somebody went to the beach and there was waves. So going down there, and then, if you ran into a good surfer, then you learn from them. But I also had the blessing to have one of my best friends growing up. He was older, he had a car, and he was a good surfer, but he was really analytical. He was very technical driven. He liked to break down things, and he was like a mentor to me. Two of them, Eduardo Espinosa and Tote, which later on Tote had a surf shop, ended up giving me a job at the surf shop and giving me boards, and then sponsored me Advanced Surf Shop back in the day. So I owe so much to those guys, but they drove me to kind of understand better, to like, hey, go to the bottom, do a bottom turn. And, as you're aware, on waves that are short period, like there are mostly in Venezuela that are quick, you're not thinking bottom turning, you want to go down the line, but the blessing was that we have point breaks that are slow enough of waves that allow you to learn the flow and to read the wave and not to get ahead of it. Because if you only surf, fast, closing out beach rigs, then you're just like trying to gain speed and be reactive. Whereas a point break gives you that other perspective, the other option to read the wave, to like think a little bit more, have more time to, have better timing, and brush your skills on a slower wave. Use the rails, stay in the pocket, all these things. So it was all that, all these things that kind of shaped my surfing. But those guys that really helped me out and kind of were my mentors, like helped me a lot. Back then, there was not really coaches like there is nowadays that are really precise, that will teach you a whole lot of stuff. It was more like, just a little bit of info, a little bit of insight, and a lot of like, do it, a lot of like pushing you to do it, like, hey, you surf that, hit it harder. That's a typical, hit it harder. They're not telling you kick your back leg more, or like compress and decompress and switch your, your weight. They're just telling you hit it harder. And you got the message. It's like, okay, I got to hit it harder somehow. I got, it's like, so I don't know. It's funny because it was really raw, but I think watching videos a lot. Then I learned later on watching tennis, and I'm not a good tennis player, but when I first grabbed a racket, I watched so much tennis that I could actually play way better than I expected to play, because my brain had been watching so much good tennis, you know? And so that was like, wow. So you do obviously learn by watching, you know, and it's proven scientifically. So